setup, we're gonna do this anyway, so like we could always bring it and tie into Insta 360 and place it in a panel type deal. All right, we're live, guys. Hey, it's Mike, the drag driver Pete. Eric is coming over here right now, and y'all, we have the man, Mr. Ray Iddings, right here with us. This is exciting. So we're in the PowerTube booth this morning for probably the next hour. I think is kind of what we've got planned. You know how that works with us. That means an hour and a half, probably two. This is one of the funnest booths that's probably here. 10 by 50, I think, 10 by 6. This thing's gigantic, super cool cars on both ends. And so what we want to do is kind of talk through PowerTube TV. Okay. We want to talk about how that came about, some of the shows that you can watch on there, like ours. Obviously, the Drag Driver Pete show plays on that every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. across the country, right? Perfect. So we do that, and then also some exclusive content that we send to Greg, our guy, man. He's awesome to get all that stuff scheduled up. But you guys have several different ways for people to watch. So I'd like to go into that. But how you get this thing started?
How do we get this started? PowerTube?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So I was very fortunate that I got to do a lot of stuff with Speed back in the day. If you remember the Speed channel, became Fox Sports 1, and I was producing some other stuff and had been talking to networks about bringing some of it back. And Brian Basone, who you'll meet here shortly, he had this stupid idea. We were talking to Discovery, and they wanted to bring Pigs and Pastime back.
Oh yeah,
please. And we're like on a meeting with them, and they're like, "Do you own the old stuff?" And Brian's like, "Of course I do." Right? Didn't own any of it, and so we worked with Discovery to get the stuff, or with Speed Fox to get the stuff. The thing with Discovery fell apart, as we all know. Discovery is falling apart right now. R.I.P. Motor Trend. Pour one out. And so we took Pastime, which was the first automotive game show with Brett Wagner.
Love it.
We got that show. We got Pigs, Rich Christensen, two guys race. You know, one guy wins both cars. Pigs All Out, which is at the time was you won $10,000 for a bracket race.
Yeah.
Right. Not bad. And Drag Race High, which is my personal favorite. Two high schools give them $10,000, 9 weeks to build a car, and they have to do all the work. They have to get the sponsors. They have to build the motors. They have to build the car. Because high school kids are too stupid to know you're not supposed to do it in 9 weeks, right?
Yeah.
It actually takes longer.
Yeah, that's super cool there.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. And as a matter of fact, the last season of that show, they built two 8-second cars. High school.
Wow.
8-second cars.
That's wild.
It's crazy, right? And so then when the Discovery thing fell apart, Brian and I were like, we should just start our own network. How hard can that be? Right?
Not hard at all in these days.
Harder than you might think.
Yeah.
Actually, so it's like everything, right? It's not hard to start. It's hard to get people to find you. It's hard to get viewers. It's hard to get content.
Yep.
You know? And I feel really lucky because I was able to leverage people that I know in the business that have given us some great shows. Guys like you, shows we were already watching, still fans of, right? You know, I love the drag and drive stuff. I love drag racing in general.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
Pigs All Out.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Yeah, I don't care what it is. Two kids running, down the road. I'm watching that. So we're now up to about 60 shows on the network.
That's great.
Yeah, and it's because of guys like you, right? It's because you guys are already making something good that people are paying attention to, and we're able to give you bigger distribution, right? Because Facebook Live is not the answer. YouTube is not the answer. YouTube is great, right? But you're lost in a sea of other creators on YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everyone has the dream of, I'm going to be an influencer on YouTube and I'm going to make tons of money. Yeah, it doesn't work like that.
No.
And so with our Fast channel, we're available on Roku and Amazon Prime and Apple TV and iOS and Android app and our website. And we just signed a couple of distribution deals for some international stuff. And hopefully we'll be able to announce that here real soon. And I think the biggest difference between us and everybody else is we're 100% free.
Yeah.
Right? That's I don't know. I'm sick of paying $4.99 for apps, right? I'm tired of it.
And
right?
$4.99 is cheap.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But so you throw that on with your what you're paying for your Netflix and your Hulu and YouTube TV just went when YouTube TV started a couple years ago, $35 a month. It was a bargain.
Yeah.
You got all those cable channels, $35. It is now $89.
Yep.
Right? Doesn't make any sense.
No.
And just kind of the way the TV landscape is changing, we have to keep up with that. And at the end of the day, good stuff always wins, right? It doesn't matter how it gets out there. If it's good, people will find it, people will watch it. And that's kind of what we're finding, right?
Yeah.
Is as we bring on these really cool shows, um, the audience is responding to that. I know you want to talk about pastime.
I love Pastime. That truly was one of my favorite shows. Just because, like, listen, back in the day, it was generally pretty easy to figure out like a 1030 car. Now, I can't wait to see the struggles people have now.
Can I'll tell you a funny story about that. So I'm home. I am not an official producer yet. Came to that later in my life, thank God. Um, I'm at home. I'm doing the dishes like one does, right? Kids running around the house. And Rich Christensen, the host of Pigs, calls me. He's like, "Hey, I got this idea for a show." And he pitches me this idea. Basically, think demolition derby cars with lights on top of the roof. When your light comes on, you're it. And everybody tries to tag you. Okay? And I'm like, yeah, that's all right. This is before GoPros and all that stuff. So my mind is reeling on I don't know how to shoot this show because we need the big cameras, right?
Oh yeah.
Every car would have $50,000-$60,000 a kit in it. And I said, why don't we just have guys bet at the track on how fast cars are? Because that's what we do at the track.
Right.
And within 5 minutes, his brain moved and he was like, okay, we'll have a host. We'll have the house. They'll play against the house. And I'm like, this is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
He goes, hold on, puts me on hold. 10 minutes later, Bob Ecker, who was the head of Speed at the time of development for Speed, he's on the other end. And we pitch him this show and he goes, I don't know. I don't know if that'll work. We'll give you a little bit of money. They gave us, I don't mind saying it now, $25,000 to do 5 episodes.
Wow.
That's not enough.
No, but we went and did it. I mean, most of that was probably spent on getting Brett Wagner out there and paying for his lunch bill because he's a big boy. And we went to Great Lakes Dragway because I had a relationship with Ray up there, and we shot those 5 shows there. It was called Name That Tested Tune. And the reason we called it that is because we had this show called Launch Hour, where basically we put 2 shows against each other, and each show had its own 5-episode arc, and then we let the audience decide which one to watch.
Oh,
Right? And Rich, again, it's these little things that he's pretty smart about. Name That Tested Tune. He wanted you to hate the name, right? And so people hated the name.
Yeah.
And actually, one of the guys at Speed came up with the name Pastime for the show after we delivered it. And, we did 149 episodes of that show.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Yeah. And what people don't know, there's 148 have aired. There's one episode, we call it the lost episode, that has never aired because the contestants cheated.
Oh.
Yes.
It was a bummer for me because we were in Vegas. We shot our 100th episode in Vegas, and that was part of these shows. And it was, oh man, I don't mean to get off on a tangent, but here we are. We're in Vegas. It's right after the NHRA has been there, so the track is on kill, right? We're going to shoot our 100th episode.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of special cars coming in from all over the place. While we're setting up during the day, on that show, they don't get to make practice hits, right? You come with your stuff loaded and ready to go. So John Force comes up to me and says, "Hey, can I test? I need to make a couple of hits and test." And I said, man, you know, it screws us up because we're hanging signs and putting lights and cameras and cables. Oh my God, the amount of cables that we have to run for that show.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, John, I'll make it happen for you, but you got to make something happen for me. So he had Zippy, Mike Neff, come over in his funny car and make a hit on the show as one of the last cars, right? And also, Alexa DiGiorio, she was racing then. She's in the Lost episode. So that's what sucks about that. She never got to be not like she's our help, but she never got to be on that show, you know, because we had a contestant cheat.
So how did you end up finding out that they cheated?
So I knew instantly. So one of the things I'm going to break some hearts here, a little TV magic. So everyone is wearing headphones. They're called Dave Clark's. That's the kind of headphones they are. So they all have Dave Clark's on, and I'm in the TV truck and I'm feeding Brett lines, and I'm reminding him about stuff, you know, because Brett is an amazing actor. He's a car guy, but not a car guy like we're ridiculously car guys, right? He's not down the minutia. He just knows what he likes, what he doesn't like. He's much more of a car guy now. And so first guy pulls up, gets out of his car, walks up. Each contestant gets to ask one question, right? Before they decide how fast the cars are. Her first question for the very first guy is boxers or briefs?
Whoa, what?
So I think, okay, she's just trying to be funny, right? Next guy comes up. She asks another inane question. How much is milk? You know, stuff like that. So by her question, she wasn't serious, right?
Right.
So what we found out is she had let her dad. We staged the cars right before the event.
So he's out.
He's out there just because you know we're car guys, right? What do car guys want to do? They want to tell you how fast their car is, how big the motor is, right? All the work they put into it. There's you can't get those guys to shut up, you know?
Right.
And so the dad just went and worked them, and then told her ahead of time. She had it
numbers
written on her hand,
Oh,
you know. And we paid her the $2,000 and everything, but we just never aired the show.
yeah.
That's wild.
It was crazy.
Wild.
It was crazy.
Wow.
Good times though.
Oh,
But-
yeah, for sure.
But we're bringing that show back this year. When Brian comes out here, I'll let Brian
Yeah.
give you all the deets on that because really,
So I want people to understand what you're saying here.
yeah,
Pastime is coming back in 2025.
yes, sir.
So for everyone that is of age, rejoice. This is going to be a great year.
Name the
for
time,
car
win the
stuff.
cash. It's that easy. The burnouts never lie. You get to hear all that again.
Perfect.
But Brian's been working his tail off on, you know, there's so we have a spoil of riches now, right? There are so many events, so many drag and drive events, so many bracket races, so many nostalgia funny cars and IHRA. It's racing is everywhere right now, which is great, but it makes it hard to find the weekend to do what we want to do.
Yeah.
I will clue you. It's called Power Fest, and we'll have we'll shoot pastimes. We'll shoot another show. I'll let Brian spill that one for you. So you have something to talk about because he doesn't really talk that much. It's a big fat lie, just so you know. Yeah.
All he does is work.
But we're going to have also at the event, we'll have some drifting going on. We'll have mega trucks there. Just kind of show. I mean, the channel is, if it has a motor in it, we want it.
Yeah.
You know, I loved the old days of Speed Vision. Remember, you get on there, there'd be power tool racing.
Yeah.
And I would sit there and watch that, right? Or airplane racing. They had all the crazy stuff, right? They had no drag racing until we did pigs and pastime.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of there'd be no street outlaws. All those guys were on pigs or pastime
Oh yeah.
before they went on the street outlaws. You know, so
Yeah, those are probably some of the best episodes that are the early Chief and Asian and all that kind of stuff. And I think when we look at your YouTube channel, man, we see that a lot. Like that's probably gonna be one of your top 5 videos is that episode.
totally. Everybody loves, well, you know, because Asian looks like he's like 12 in those videos, right?
Yeah.
And Daddy Dave, you know, Daddy Dave's young in those.
Chuck driving an import.
Yeah, yeah.
See, okay, don't slam on the imports. So I totally got into drag racing. Well, because of Bob Glidden. That's another story.
Yeah.
But I love air-cooled VW drag racing.
How-
That's what got me started.
How many times have we heard that this weekend?
Listen, we sat at a table last night with Driven Racing Oil. Big shout out to one of our sponsors. They had a party last night. Him and I were at a table, and man, this guy is going in deep talking about this engine they've put together, high RPMs, 11,000 RPMs, all this stuff. He's like, and it made 200 horsepower. We're like, bro, what are you talking about? 1,700 cc's. Like, oh, you guys are wild.
Watch the 100th episode of Pastime because I have the Loffers on there. They have the world's fastest 4-cylinder VW, right? The thing ran in the quarter because it's still quarter mile then. 605 at 217
That is crazy.
for a VW. My favorite part is it runs on alcohol, and they'd pulled the car out of the trailer and everything. There was a fitting that was loose. It's spraying alcohol all over the place. Well, because it's our 100th episode, usually that'd be a catastrophic failure, DQ. We let them, they borrowed a wrench from Robert Height's crew, was standing there watching. They get a wrench, they tighten it up. There's alcohol on the tire. Chris Loffer backs that car up and then boom, sends it. Like, I love that stuff.
Yeah.
Right? I love that stuff.
That's really fun. Okay, listen, you got to bounce. We got to get Ride Ranch in here and talk to him for a minute. So thank you for your time. You listen. Hey, Ray Iddings, find him on Facebook, but really find that dude on PowerTube TV on all the apps and stuff like that. Oh, him first. All right, Brian Bassone's coming in here. The man, Mr. Boss One Media, right here. Get in here, sir. Ray, will you take pictures while we're
I've got a couple meetings to get to, and I don't want to.
No worries. You're a busy guy. I want to say thank you for giving us the opportunity to come over here and spend some time in the booth. I'm going to hand you this mic, and Eric and I are going to share this one.
Oh, that's cute.
So introduce yourself. Tell everybody kind of what's up, where to find you, all that stuff.
Oh, geez. Do I have to tell everybody where to find me? They found us this week. We're here, booth 7086, PowerTube TV. If you're at PRI right now, obviously stop on by. Rest of the day, we've been here all week long. It's been crazy. Lots of fun. Met a lot of great people, a lot of content creators, a lot of marketing people, meetings after meetings. Ray's been talking to tons of creators. Insta360's still talking to people over here. So I think we did a pretty good job at this booth this year. We expanded. PowerTube TV is 100% free automotive streaming network, as you guys know, because you're on it. We built this network out for creators. We call them grassroots because that's where we all started with. And those are the people that really need the exposure that we're providing through PowerTube TV.
Yeah.
We've been through the whole range of the cable television, the linear stuff, and never been treated really, I wouldn't say we were treated bad, but we never had, let's say, ownership or let's say control of our destiny. And really the truth behind this is to let everybody control their destiny, give them a platform to expand their reach beyond, let's say, YouTube's and the social media, and give them a platform that brings them to the masses in, let's say, streaming TV. So, you don't have to watch on a computer. You don't have to watch, on your mobile device. You could be sitting at home and just click on, turn the app on Roku, Amazon Fire, whatever you want to do, watch 24/7. And the biggest thing, I think, of course, is it's free.
Yeah.
We've had some competitors come along and start around the same time, but they all want to do subscriptions. They want to charge for everything. I understand. We're all in a business.
It would be easier if you did that.
Right? It would be easier, but I don't think we'd have the success that we had. And you could see that through some of the other ones out there that aren't having that success because of the way that the landscape's changing, that everybody, there's 1,000 streaming platforms out there and they all want their $5, $10, $15, $40 a month, and it's just, I'm in the same position at home. Like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I'm tired of paying for it. So Ray and I sat down and we had some meetings. I said, this option called FAST, which is free advertised supported television, is an option to do if they don't mind watching a couple commercials in between, which we've been already doing on linear television for 100 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you don't mind watching a few commercials, and of course these marketing partnerships we make, they're the reason why it's free. So you should watch the commercials and all the way through, and you should buy a product. So I mean, it's a platform for everybody. So what we've really done is gone after I think one of the biggest things is now approached by a lot of events. So we started off with the, obviously the Pinks and Pinks all out there. Ray and talked about all that stuff. That's we call that our lost leader, our legacy TV. But since we started, we brought on guys like you with great podcasts. We have like 7 or 8 podcasts. You got a great podcast. We've got Southeast Gashers, there's Leslie Horn over there. We've got race events. We've got great content through build shows, Married to the Ride, all those great shows. And now, the minute we opened up shop here, because it's the racing industries, I bet you we got approached by 7 to 8 racing events that are cutting, let's say, event shows or coverage that now want to extend their, reach. And that's what we're here for. So they can't go to NBC and CBS. They can't go to one of those high-end deals and ever get the exposure that we're going to give them, because first of all, they want you to pay to be on there.
Right.
If not, they want to own it and then put their marketing people inside, and you don't get a penny. We don't ask for anything.
You get the exposure from the,
We're basically trading a platform, which I'm not going to say how much money, but a lot of money, and continually building from there to give you guys that really large exposure. And as we continue to grow, you're getting more eyeballs. Everybody, the races are getting eyeballs. And then for us, it attracts the sponsors and marketing partnerships that support this. So marketing partnerships, we're open. We want to support the grassroots racers, the creators, the builders, and we gave them this platform. And that's what we need to continue to move forward, is really create those relationships and build, as we build the brand further, make it more palatable, or as we call in the actual marketing business, bringing down the CPM, which means click per 1,000 views. So the more platforms we get on, the more it's valuable for your marketing partners, our marketing partners. And that's what we've been doing this year, building that up. And that's why we're here this week. But yeah, we got some great stuff coming along.
Yeah. Well,
It's a lot of crap I just said.
I know we appreciate giving the opportunity for us to provide content to you guys. It's been great. We have our reruns of our weekly shows, and then exclusive content that we provide you guys that's only seen on PowerTube TV. So it's been great, and we appreciate that for sure.
Yeah, it's great. And it's guys like you and shows that have come on board that really, we said that when we had our big O. The other night we had a content creator, a happy hour, which we had about 40, 50 people in there, and we gave away our awards, which was kind of cheesy, but it was fun last minute. But really the main part of that was to give back to you guys and tell you how much that we appreciate you, because without partnerships like you, we don't exist. So, and we try to do everything we can to try to make you successful and give you the tools to be successful, where that's another thing that probably Ray talked about, is we never got that dealing with linear or cable television. They just, take your content and whatever. You never get a phone call till they want more.
Right.
Where we try to do this every week. We connect with you guys through emails and have these mixers, and we do the stuff in the booth. But it's all about you guys, because we know without you, we don't have a network. And this thing eats content like a machine, and we need more and more. So we're always looking for content creators and partners and stuff, and it's going to grow. We have some great stuff coming up, as Ray probably hinted off from there. We've got some new apps coming out in the next few months. International is in the works right now. We're finishing up contracts to take it out to about 20 to 25 streaming platforms worldwide, which once again now, you can say drag, drive, and repeat will be international.
Yeah.
So Australia, South Africa, England, any really English speaking countries, plus some they say that are half, or maybe just like to look at pretty cars. We'll be on there as well. And we had some great meetings with, can't really go into it because it's not a solid deal, but possibility of actually making our way back onto like a linear style platform for it as well. So
Yeah.
my job is to grow the network, to market the network, and it's your job to make sure people know that you're on PowerTube and let everybody know that, because that's the big thing. The more eyeballs we get, the more viewers we get, it just grows. It's going to be greater and greater. I mean, we hope to be in the next year or two the largest automotive content streaming platform in the world. I can't say how we're not there right now, because I don't know anybody that has as many shows as we do.
Yeah.
Once we get that distribution platform and further ones, we'll have the largest footprint and the largest amount of content.
Well, I was just saying, let's talk about the channels real quick, because that's something that not a lot of folks do. If you have another streaming app, they're literally just showing whatever they're showing in their schedule.
Yep.
But you guys actually have like a podcast channel. You have off-road channel. You have overlanding type channel. You have speed stuff. I mean, it's really pretty cool to go through there. It's almost like I don't know. It's almost like you guys are building out this entire
Yes. So
we're
setting it up for the future, because in reality was that, the original thought was, all right, we have PowerTube TV. And I said to Ray, I said, as we grow and we have enough content for each one, you got to think I have a marketing background, and you have to think as a marketing person, because the only way this survives is to make it more palatable to a marketing partner. And what it is they want, their ads and their products and something focused. Unlike other networks that basically throw you in between everything and potluck it, or maybe you're lucky if you want to pay $1 million to be on a show. We said, all right, Ray, I said, we're going to break this down. I said, for the viewer and for the marketing partner. So you could go and watch these guys weekly on PowerTube TV. But let's say I really love podcasts or really love your show. They could start off by simply going either to the website or one of the apps or whatever and going right down to the podcast channel. 24/7, 365, all podcasts. So now what we've done is we've basically got that viewer what he wants, but we've also, what you call in the marketing business, qualifying a lead. So let's say it's off-road and outdoors. So instead of a marketing guy going on there and trying to place him correctly and randomly put him there, he could literally put his off-road lights on the off-road channel. So you have a qualified lead, somebody that's watching off-road, either has a truck or loves that, maybe a Jeep. They're always looking for steps and stuff. That really helps a lot. Same thing on the build side. If you're building a car, you go to the build channel. You just want to watch builds. Anybody that sells a part to build a car can literally market themselves on there. So you could randomly go, we call it run a schedule throughout, focus your, let's say, I don't know, maybe on Friday night is the gassers, and you want, if you sell clutches or transmission parts, something for manual transmissions, we could tag you right to that show itself or put you in prime time. But as well, 24/7 on the racing channel, we could have that clutch and that part directly all day long, saturating from there. So not only can the actual viewer focus in on what they want to watch, but the marketing person or a company could focus in on the viewer that's watching that particular. So it makes the value that much better for our network compared to somebody else, because we're actually qualifying a lead. That's what they call in this business, a qualified lead.
So that makes my brain turn a little bit for businesses too. And this is not part of the conversation we were going to have. But when you start talking about somebody that's advertising, it's always like, how can you get your best ROI, all that kind of stuff, right? We know all those numbers, but literally, if you go onto Facebook, we've run ads before. It's very hard to target drag and drive specific racers or drag racing specific,
because they only have a few of those little keywords, but there's no such word as drag and drive. You got to go drag racing, you got to this, you put in HRA. We do it all the time, and it's very hard to do. We eliminate that. I mean,
that's interesting.
If you're watching, let's say, off-road and outdoors, you're just going to see off-road outdoors or something off-road adjacent or outdoor adjacent on there. So, and that one is very broad. So we started with that one because that's a very the market's huge, but there's only like one streaming. I don't even know if it's even a streaming platform, but I know there's one cable was one out there for just the off-road deal. And we had some meetings with some big players that were looking like Real Tree or whatever it is, Real Truck or whatever, and they said, we advertised on this one, and they just collapsed and went away. You can't see, they try to sustain with one channel and survive through the marketing side, and they only have a very small pickings, where our whole network has a lot to deal. So we're not just relying on off-road. We're giving that opportunity across the board, which help us survive. But we could give that focus, like you said, from there. They're getting that ROI. They're getting that targeted person they want. And it's just one tiny part of this whole big brand. And it's one of those things that I don't know if anybody ever thought of it before, but it's just from the experience. You learn a lot over the years, and everybody says, well, who's watching? How many people? And everybody wants clicks and views and stuff. It's a lot easier in the conversation to say, I'll give you clicks and views, but I'll give you that you're actually the people that are watching this, they're not just automotive. They are actual off-road and outdoor enthusiasts. And they go, oh, because I'm making their job easier. I'm taking the guesswork out of their marketing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep.
I guess I hadn't realized all that, but that makes so much sense when you lay it out that way.
Yep. I just stopped and spoke to the U.S. Army over here. Back in the day, we did Pinks All Out, and U.S. Army was a huge sponsor. And remember they came through when the winter would come through the U.S. Army kind of like thing with all the stuff. But at every event we had, U.S. Army had the rock crawling walls because they knew that targeted person, generally a person that's hands-on, works on cars, that love that, is probably more open to going into the Army than somebody that's writing code.
Right.
So it's a target. And why is U.S. Army here now? It's target marketing, and that's exactly what we do. We're just targeting that for them and making it easier. So this is a business. I mean, it is a business.
Right.
We're in the business of entertaining, but like you said, we don't have subscriptions. So to survive and do it, we have to be very crafty and use our brains, and that's one way to do it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, before you get out of here, I want to talk about the Mustang giveaway.
Oh, hey.
So give us some details on that.
So that Mustang, it's an interesting story. So back when I was in Dallas, when I finished up with the Pinks All Out run, I had moved to Dallas because it was easy to travel, and I lived out there for 8 years. And then I opened up a classic car sales, buy and sell, and small restoration. We only restored for ourselves, and then we'd sell them. Had a showroom and everything like that. And I shopped, up in Oklahoma, South Oklahoma, North Dallas, dry cars,
Yep.
and started off doing a bunch of Corvettes and then trucks and F-150, all that stuff. But somehow those things became the most popular, and I ended up restoring and selling probably 70 or 80 of those things.
Wow.
That one particularly came from Oklahoma. I do believe it was South Oklahoma. Went out, bought that car. It was in a garage, done. It was candy when I got it, all scratched up kids, running around the garage. That car is all metal. That's the original metal on that car from one little tiny patch that was on the floor this big. Nice little, just a little job done. But every piece of that car, original doors, fenders, quarters, trunk lids, hood, every piece of that car is original metal. So I bought the car, repainted house colors candy red again, went through the whole drivetrain, did it detailed from there, kept it a little while, sold it, right? Went away.
Yeah.
I moved to Florida. My parents and everything, take care of them, are older. And when we were doing all these promotions throughout the year for the network, we did the Dennis Anderson deal. We did the Top Fuel Dragster giveaway deal. And I said, I want to do something different. I want to do the car thing. Everybody does the car, but I said, let's try something different. I'm going to buy a car. Maybe I'll keep it, or maybe I had one in my garage. I was out there in Nashville and I'm looking through Marketplace. And I said, what the hell? I said, that car looks familiar.
Wow.
And I messaged the guy and I said, did you buy the car from Texas? He says, no, but I bought it from a guy that bought it from Texas. I said, can you send me more information? And he sent me the information. It was a build book. That was the build book I gave him.
Wow.
And I go, holy crap. So I was on my way to Nashville from Florida, drove through Knoxville. I said, and I was afraid he was going to be gone. It was a pretty good deal. Car's a great car, so I knew it. Stopped at 11 o'clock at night at his house. Well, opened the garage. It was sitting there. Nothing changed. I said, have you done anything to the car? He goes, I put aluminum radiator in because it's just cool. I said, all right, cobwebs on the bottom, has been driven a while. I said, I'll take it. So I bought it sight unseen.
Wow.
We left it in his garage for a couple of weeks, drug it back to Nashville. I went through the car top, front to back. I did a light wet sand. I'm a car guy. Nobody knows that, but I built cars for 30 years. And
Yeah.
so I'm a body. I could do everything. So I lightly wet sanded it, buffed it out, cleaned it, prepped it, drove around a little bit, looked at Art, my buddy. I said, this is the one. I said, I'd like to keep it. I said, but you know what? Let's just give this damn thing away. Everybody's been so gracious. You guys, everybody, all the viewers and fans, I said, let's just give something back. Let's just stop giving koozies away and stuff and prizes and coolers. Let's give something back big. So detailed it up, put it on the cover over there, flew back to Florida. Art drug it all the way from Nashville to here. We partnered up with Car Capsule. Car Capsule came as a title sponsor. They're gonna get a car capsule if they win as well.
Oh,
so they win the
cool.
Mustang. They could put it in a car capsule. And then our other great sponsor, which is our new, I don't know if you know, but we got 3 new sponsors right before we left. We have Pipes Exhaust, Cold Case Radiators, Boss Hog Torque Converters, and then Car Capsules all jumped on board. They're all each one is an individual, like official part. Car Capsule jumped on particularly just for this to supply that. And we contacted Boss Hog. He says, dude, give him a converter. I said, well, it runs good. He goes, well, let him modify it. So if they want aluminum heads or something, maybe from one of our other sponsors, build the car. And whenever they get their mods, give him a buzz. He'll build a converter and deliver it from there. So you get,
How
so you
cool.
get a car, a converter, and a car capsule.
Nice.
And just go to our website, watch PowerTubeTV.com or watch PTT.com, TV.com. And you can go on there, just scan and go through. You could enter free. There's ways to do it. You send the card or whatever from there, or just simply buy a shirt or a hat. And this week we're doing this special, 10 times the entry. So meaning you buy a shirt or a hat, let's say $25, you get 250 entries. So every dollar you spend, you get 10 entries just from, I think, from this week all the way till the end of next week from there. After that, it's 1-to-1, everything you buy. We'll have different specials. And as well, if you buy a car capsule or a Boss Hog torque converter, let's say you spend $300 on a converter, you get 300 entries.
Wow.
Well, this week you get 300. If you buy one of these car capsules, which is about $2,500, you'll get 25,000 entries. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. So somebody's going to walk away with that car.
Yeah.
It runs from now all the way till April 30th. It takes like 3 or 4 days to process. It's a whole legal. We don't do it. So
Yeah.
don't blame me if you didn't win. It's not me. All done through a company, paid a lot of money for insurance and all this stuff. They'll do the drawing. They send it back to us. We'll give a big reveal. That's going to go back to me. I'm going to drive. I've got to put that on a trailer and bring it all the way back to Florida. We're going to do some more promo videos and stuff inside of our studio back there. So we'll show more details of the car and stuff like that. We'll have a car capsule back there as well. Show some details, but we're giving back. And that's my Christmas present to anybody. I mean, win it. I paid for it. It's win the boss's car, we're calling it, because
Yeah.
it's titled in my name and everything. It's not like that. It's literally my car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And if you guys are at PRI, come by, check it out. It is a gorgeous car. make sure you stop by the PowerTube TV booth here at PRI. I got one last question before we let you go. I know you're getting busy here. Ray talked about some new shows, Pastime coming back. What can you tell us about what's coming out this next year?
So our, you know, once again, you got to make some noise in this world and not doing events. So we were doing a ton of events until COVID hit through our all live events and a couple of different call outs and stuff. And COVID killed everything. And then from there, we started building this, and the time to actually do live events and really get an audience back wasn't worth the investment to go back out there with nobody being there and really not having a real, let's say, vehicle to market properly. So the idea was to build this up big enough and that we had a big enough audience that when we launched events and different things we do, that we actually, people would know about it. I think we got to that point now. We're doing really well. Yeah. I contacted a bunch of tracks and we tried to get dates, and it's like pulling teeth. We wanted to bring back Pinks All Out, Pastime, Drag Race High, all that stuff like that. But I said, well, let's do something called Power Fest. I changed the name. It's kind of a wore out title, but what we want to do is have a big event where we have, let's say, not a full blown Pinks All Out, where we limit the car count. We bring Pastime into there, you know, do a couple episodes, and then work with creators like you. You come out, have a booth out there, do some of this stuff out there, bring the gassers out, do an exhibition of gassers, premier mega trucks out there from there. And that was the main plan. We had a date that we actually locked in for June, but before we could sign the contract, it was given away at Rockingham Dragway. They have a pro mod series. They put something from there, and it pushed our date. He's like, oh, I could give you June or whatever these are dates. And I don't want to, I've done 250 events. I'm not going to be in the middle of summer at some sitting, make our people sit in bleachers 100 degrees. So we do have a locked, or let's say a tentative contract for June 13th or 14th or something like that at Rockingham Dragway, which coincidence is the last Pinks All Out that I did, we did a Pinks All Out week in 2015, 10 years to the date at Rockingham Dragway. So right now, we're mulling around what we're going to do and how big, and because we got locked for 3 days. It's a lot of money. We're renting the whole track for 3 days straight. So we have to make it worthwhile. We need sponsors is the main thing. And that's really going to dictate, you know, when we walk out of here, how many partnerships we could put together, because it's going to be I'm not giving away $5,000. I want to give away big money for these things. If we're going to do it. I don't want to come out and make a small splash. I want to make a huge splash. So if you're going to bring something back like a Pinks All Out or a Pastime, you don't want to do it like, oh, you know,
mediocre.
Yeah. You can't do Pastime or Pinks All Out mediocre. You got to do it big. So, so we need big sponsors and big support. So, you know, talking to summits and different things like that, or anybody that really wants to jump on board. So if you're sitting out there, we've got the platform and we've got the event. One of the big things though, that he doesn't even know because he's not listening, which is the best part. So if we don't, and I mean, because he'll go nuts if I tell him, if we don't decide to do that event, then those 2 to 3 days I'm going to lock in just to do Pastime.
Okay.
So Pastime for us is a show when it comes cost effective wise, and it's great for marketing partnerships, is instead of, let's say, going out and do a Pinks All Out or one of those deals, might get 1 or 2 shows. Ray did a great job. They call it box shooting them. We could get anywhere from 10 to 20 episodes out of it. So value wise for a marketing partner or for ourselves is a lot more value to be able to have the one crew in one place, because we only have to pay for hotels once. We only have to crew out there for one time, and we can walk away with a ton of content. And right now I'd say the most valuable, or let's say cost-effective value for us for shoot and spend money on, is Pastime. And so if I told him that though, you know him, oh, you know, he'd go nuts. So I want to, but that's what's been in my head until we walked here. And I want to do the festival, and we'll do it. If we could lock in some major sponsors, we'll do a Pinks Out reunion.
Yeah.
And I know we will. In 2015 was already 6 years or 5 years after it. We put 506 racers or 503 racers on Rockingham's property for 4 days straight. We had a big party. We did a huge, we did party in the pits area, and we had bands on Thursday night. It was July 4th. I brought in, you know, fireworks on Friday. We did a bike class. We did a junior dragster class. We ran the quads. We tried everything. We had a great time. Rain killed us for a little while, but we got it done. We created 5 episodes. It aired on MAV TV. And it was great. But of course, you know, getting the brand for Pinks All Out was difficult, because, and that's a lot of people don't know, is Fox owned that stuff. When they got it from Rich, they owned it. It took me 7 years to get it back. We had a contract, believe me, when it was done for 5 or 6 years, was so restrictive that even after we aired those episodes, it was Outdoor Channel we put on. We increased their viewership on a Thursday night from like Alaska plane thing, 70%. No marketing, advertising, because the same people outdoors is the same viewer.
Right.
But they said we need international, and we could not get that from Fox. And I fought and fought and fought, and I finally gave up about a year or two before this. We bought this, and just we offered massive money for this stuff, and then we finally got it back. But it was so restrictive, couldn't do international, couldn't do that. That's why Pink's All Out never came back, is because Fox owned it, and they wanted us to pay 10% of our budget to them. We had to give it to them for free to air on different things. Couldn't do international, couldn't do things, and you can't. Sponsors want international, they want stuff. Major networks wanted, international distribution. But now we control our own destiny, and guess what? Nobody can tell us what not to do.
Yeah.
So yes, PowerFest may happen, but if it doesn't, then if you don't know about it, it'll be pastime.
That's awesome.
Pastime is happening.
That's
It's
awesome.
going to happen. Ray's spearheading that mess, so it's going to be great.
Yeah, well, I'm ready. I want to say thank you for everything you do for us. We really appreciate the opportunity of all the growth and all that kind of stuff. Get out of here. We appreciate it. Thank you so
Thanks.
much.
Sorry for hogging up all your time. So
No,
now you all
you
know
can-
about this crap. Have a great show, guys. Thank you.
Guys, Brian Basone, I'm telling you, that guy's one of my favorite people. Oh man, come on in here. Let's get in here. Bringing on Greg here. Greg Speed Shop on PowerTube. This is a new series that's going to be on the channel, on the broadcast app. And yeah, perfect. There we go. The one thing I think I met you guys at Southeast Gas Association, which is how the car's set up now.
Yep.
So for people that follow, tell them where to watch the channel, and then you guys also have some other branding, like you have your channel on YouTube and things like that.
Yeah. So PowerTube TV, it's called a program called Built for Speed. That's our first season on it. Absolutely love it. But you also can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, you know.
PowerTube TV, we're on Monday nights.
Yeah.
Built for Speed is on Monday nights.
8 p.m.
8
Yeah,
p.m.
on the power block, 8 p.m.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. So let's talk about the car as it sits right now, because it's in gas reform. Why is it set up like this, and what's the plan next?
Well, right now we're running, we're getting ready for the season. That's our backup motor sitting in it right now. But the motor, we've got a Fulton power plant underneath it. We're really looking forward to get this world record. We're 500ths of a second off the world record.
Man,
Got
you
it.
were really close at the race that I was at. It was like this,
Yeah.
like your focus level was absolutely intense.
Yeah, we screwed up at the last race, to be honest with you. The record holder is Leslie Horn, and he's standing over there right now, and Ben Christopher, and Ben is really going to be tough to beat
Yeah,
next year. He's got to,
to beat.
but they're both going down for sure.
We think we have the car pretty much dialed in now.
Yep.
I think we got the right combination in there. I think we've got the right motor in there now. So the last couple of races last season, I think we really figured it out. So I think 2025 is going to be a big year for us.
Yes, 100%. We screwed up by the clutch. We're trying to hide it. We didn't want because we
We
ended up
can't give
switching.
away all our
We
secrets.
switched to a different clutch, and we didn't want nobody to see the new clutch. So we started hiding it. Leah was blocking one side of the car. I was blocking the other side, because everybody wants to know what's going on.
Oh yeah.
And my son's in there adjusting, and they kept on telling us on the video, take clutch out, take clutch out. So we're trying to do that. And I'm like, I can't take any more out, The last round, I just happened to look in there, and I caught that he was turning it the wrong way. So he was putting clutch in it the whole time. So then we don't know where we were at.
Yeah.
So we got to guess at it to put the clutch for the next round. And we went the fastest pass of the day the next round. But the guy next to me red lighted, didn't see it. They hit the cone at the end of the racetrack.
Oh no.
Worst is first.
And
That was a hard pill to swallow.
And I had Leslie next round. And
He's a bad dude.
he would have been done.
Yeah,
He would have been done.
that should have been.
No, that was ours.
Yeah, last two races of the season, we went more rounds than
Then we did
the whole year
all last year
before.
before.
Wow.
Yeah, so we,
But I mean, but
we're getting
we didn't lose a race for 2 years. Back
prior.
then.
Yeah,
Now,
2 years never even lost.
well, because that's another thing that I think is really interesting about your program. Because you're chasing a record. You want to come in here and break this record at Southeast Gassers.
Oh, we're
but
doing it.
but where I have 100% faith in you. Where do you guys base out of?
We're out of Wapaka, Wisconsin. We build custom cars for a living. So we're 35,000 square foot. But right now I don't focus on them cars so much. I mean, not my customers are very loyal to me. We build a good product, but all I care about is being the world record holder right now. I don't care anybody in this room out here. You get in gas or our rules, I'll beat anyone. I don't care who it is out there in that building.
At the shop, we have a pretty good team that takes care of the stuff that we need to take care of while we're gone and with the building of the cars and stuff like that. So we have a really good team. So that kind of helps with us so focused on getting this world record.
Yeah.
So
So I've heard a little bit of talk. What are you planning to do once you get this record with the car? There's been some talks about some other plans that you guys have.
Yes, what we want to do is, we want to do the drag week or sick week or drag and drive. We want to do all that stuff. So we actually, my son, we're building him a chassis right now. Right after we get his chassis done, I have all the material to build my new chassis for the car. Now I'm just going to get it set up so I can, all the street driving stuff that I can do. But no, the grand scheme is going to be, switch the car to a pro mod. But be able to unbolt the car and go back gasser racing.
When somebody else gets
Yeah.
faster with you, you're like, hold on,
Yeah.
let me go get this.
Well,
I'll be right back.
We're gonna actually take the car to Bonneville also. We're gonna do, Pontiac parts, they don't make any, so we have to make them in-house. So we're actually doing a mold right now for a 57 Pontiac nose. I built that nose on there, but if somebody wanted to get it right now, it'd cost you 15 grand. That's how much the hours we have in it. But now we're gonna build a mold, so I'll be able to sell them cheaper. Not saying I want to do it. I'm just doing it for me. As we progress in the different series, we want the complete nose on it. We want the bumpers on it, one piece, for the air, still a block of cheese going through the wind.
Yeah.
We're hoping 5,000 horsepower helps us get that done.
Wow.
So yeah, so we'll figure it out. I tried to get Lutz over here yesterday because we're thinking about having Jeff build us a chassis for it. And I got to see what he thinks of my plan.
Yeah.
I just, you got to listen to these guys too. But I really just want to drive this car.
Yeah.
So when you really see the Joker out there, driving the same car as I'm racing right now.
Yeah. So if people don't understand what you just said, you're going to have a car that's a gasser. You're going to pull the body off and put it on another chassis
Yep.
and do drag and drive. And then you're going to pull that off onto another chassis and do Bonneville.
Yep.
I don't know anybody else that's doing that currently.
No.
Like that is super cool.
And it's going to go all the way to the I say pro mod, but like the street outlaw stuff.
Yeah.
That's where we're going to go with it. And I want to be the first guy to do it. So
Yeah. That's super cool.
basically in my shop, I always tell people we've had 250,000 people in our facility in the last 6 years. And I want to have a banner in my shop where you'll see the gasser chassis sitting there. You look up, it'll say Southeast Gassers. Then you go to the next one, it'll say Bonneville. Go to the next one, it'll say Drag Week, or whatever it is, It'll just all the different series I want to be able to have to be able to drive it,
we have a Bonneville car that we've been wanting to race at Bonneville for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be right racing not the Joker.
Right.
So that's
And it's not even per se that when we go to Bonneville, I mean, in my heart, whatever class I'm racing, I'm going for the record.
Right.
That's just how I'm wired. I can't. Everybody tells me when I do the drag and drive that just finish. And this brain doesn't work that way. I need to win. So that's just the way I'm wired.
he's not competitive or anything.
Yeah. I didn't get that.
And anybody else who races, they know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I just don't want to try. I want to be the best at it.
Yeah.
And we can't leave the Southeast Gassers. I even think about doing anything else until we're the world record holder.
Yeah.
The world record until I get that world record deal. We'll always race with these guys. They're my buddies.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a long journey with these guys, but I want to do other things. How many years do I gotta
Yeah.
do this?
Absolutely. I think that's so cool. I think it's a great idea. And people will be able to watch all these builds on your channel here on PowerTube TV.
Yes, they will. Yep. And
Yeah.
all the other platforms you can look. We got a lot of followers already, so people are watching. A lot of people don't know my real plan like you guys do right now.
Yeah.
Just because I'm trying to keep it a little quiet.
Well,
But you know, it's really stuff that we really believe that we're going to get the record really quick here. I mean, when we go to Georgia, we're going to South Georgia for our first race. I plan on knocking it out of the park. I got a little secret that these guys don't know over here.
Stop.
Yep. Yep. that you know, gets a bunch of weight off our car. Theoretically, we should crush it.
That's awesome. And the biggest thing about Southeast Gassers, it's one of the hardest, toughest rule set packages for gasser cars anywhere in the world. And so to take that record is really a huge deal because that's one of the most competitive gasser classes and series in all of the world. It's pretty
Yeah.
amazing.
Before we came to the Southeast Gassers, nobody cared about the world record.
Yeah, everybody would question us, like,
But don't you want to win?
yeah, like I
Like,
don't understand
don't-
the
I
whole point.
I don't care about winning.
But let's talk about this record too, because it's not just one pass. You've got to back it up. So
Yes.
you've got to run your best number, and then you got to be within a certain
Yes.
percentage or
1%.
digits or something like that.
Percent, you got to be within that number.
Yeah.
So you don't have to just do it once. You have to do it twice.
Yeah.
Yep.
In the same event, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only on
Only on
race day.
race day. Yeah.
Wow.
So like when I go out for my qualifying passes, I'll have Mr. Horn. He'll tell me, "Hey, take it easy, save your car for the end." I'm like, listen, I'm here for one thing.
Yeah.
I'm balls out all the way every pass.
That's awesome.
It doesn't
That's
matter.
And so the gasser stuff is based, their classes are based on cubic inches, and you get a certain pound, not penalty, but whatever. Like it's 8 pounds per cubic inch or 6 pounds per
Yeah,
cubic inch
yeah.
for A gas, things like that. And it's all NA, it's all stick shift, it's
Yeah.
all violent, it's all wheelies. It's an amazing, all awesome. It's an
If you don't
amazing
get the
event.
Tires off the ground 15 inches when you launch, you're disqualified. You know, there's no computers, no shift light. You push the throttle that hard, it's 1,000 horsepower. So it just 10-inch wide, 10.5-inch wide tires, you know, it's a handful.
That's awesome. Well, guys, you can find this on Built for Speed on PowerTube TV. Please go over, download the app right now. Just take a break, go over, download the app. While I bring Jamie in, we're going to talk about another show that's going to come on the channel. Y'all, thank you very much. It's been awesome hanging out this weekend.
Hey guys, thank
It's
you.
fun. I know we got to hang out for like one time throughout the year, but I promise 2025 Sega events are on my list.
All right,
Okay.
thank you.
Sounds
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate them coming in. And we just met Jamie Lawrence out here in front of PowerTube. Come on in here, jump in here. We were talking about kind of how you ended up on PowerTube TV and the stuff that comes along from that. But we were talking about drag racing at the end. So I'm going to give you this, kind of tell us who you are, what the channel is, and all that.
Sure. So, oh yeah, thanks, bud. So it's, I'm Jamie Slaughter, been in the racing pretty much my entire life, but the channel's Ride Ranch, and what we do, we started out with motocross. That's my history. We've been doing that since I was a little kid, but I was involved in modified racing from a little kid. My cousin raced it, and eventually we did a grass drag race for snowmobiles. We did that back in 1997 at a track we had called Onion Valley Raceway. And when I bought this new facility, we had a really long, nice grass strip there, and everybody's like, "Man, you got to do a drag strip. Got to have a drag strip." So we were like, "Oh, we know how to do grass drags. Let's do that." So we did back in October last year. We did or this year we did a grass drag for sleds, 4-lane setup, tree, the whole deal. Yeah, it's pretty sick, man. And a couple buddies of mine, and a recent friend, he just became friends with me this year. He's way into, his name is Vinny Fazio, and I went out to another track and watched him race. The guy's phenomenal. He's helping us kind of get the right things in place. You know, we know how to do racing. We've been doing it a long time, but when you get into new racing, there's the nuances that everybody expects to be, and so we're making sure that we have that. So
That's awesome. So
yeah.
what can people kind of expect from the channel on PowerTube?
All right, so obviously we talk motocross and this drag race, and it's the show is more about the behind the scenes, the people aspect of racing in the pits with the riders and the racers and their families. And there's some things that go on, you know, it's like a family. It's a dysfunctional family. And so we're going to have all of that in there. But, you know, we'll also show racing. We also do a new sport for us anyways, watercross. So we're racing snowmobiles on our pond. We have a 12-acre pond. And so, yeah, we're going to race these snowmobiles on the pond, on the water. We have a boat that's capable of scooping them out if they sink. And if they do sink, there's a device that shuts the motor down. So you can literally, you don't lose anything. You don't lose your gas. And you basically pick it up out of the water. It goes back into the pits. They open everything back up and they can race. They'll be out there in 25 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. So we're having that this year. We do ice racing. So on that same lake, we've done this a couple times. We do the AMA New York State Championship race on our pond. And so that's a fun race. It's cold, it's freezing cold, but everybody comes out. They're all diehards, just like everybody that you guys run into. We do this because we're a little crazy, but we love we're passion for the sports that we do. It's nothing like the smell of race gas and things like that. So
Yeah. Mike, I know this isn't Drag and Drive, but I feel like we need to go hang out because that sounds like some fun stuff.
Yeah. I'm interested in this for sure. Where are you guys located? Where's this at?
So we're in a little town called Carlisle, New York. I never heard of it before we bought the place there. But it's near Albany, New York. It's at 442 Likers Road, Carlisle, New York. And again, it's very racing friendly. Very racing friendly town.
Very cool.
Town board, planning board, everybody was awesome to us. Some of the neighbors were questioning what we were up to, and we invite them there. Come on down, hang out. Use the place, and obviously we're gonna have noise, but the noise is only once in a while. And they received us well, and I'm very happy for them and for us that we're there. And we just try to get them on the map. Hopefully, we bring more positive to that town.
Right.
So
Tell us, how were you looking for a place? How'd you come across this place?
Sure.
And then kind of a little bit about what the ranch is.
Yeah, so for a long time, this started for me way back, but a partner of mine, John Cohen, owned Diamondback Motocross, and I jumped in with him about 10 years after 15 years after he started that track, and he leased the property, so we had to move. We rented another piece, and when we went into this piece, we kind of knew, we're like, it's not good to rent, especially racetracks. They're going to throw you out and take your business.
Yeah.
So about 5 years into it, I started looking, and we found this place a couple of years before our lease is ending. And so once it ended, we were already ready to shift gears to this place. But what we've together, he was doing it since 1991. I was doing this since 1997. So we had a lot of experience. And then our friends and family around us were all racers. So we always had a good support team to help us kind of go in the right direction, because man, we can get off track, but everybody keeps us in check. And we also joined a series called the Metropolitan Sports Committee. They've been in business since 1959. It's a nonprofit organization for sanctioning.
Okay.
And they are also part of the American Motorcyclists Association, and we are still to this day. We do some pretty heavy duty events, like we do Loretta Lynn's area qualifier for their amateur national series, which is our second year doing that. We also do pro-am races. And that's like, if you watch motocross, pro motocross or supercross on TV, those guys have to go through a step program to get into that, to get their IDs and stuff. So the pro-ams allow those guys to get points to go to get their pro license to race.
That's
cool. So they come to tracks like ours that offer those things. Oh, so, but beyond that, our hope is, with the drag racing aspect of it, especially the grass drag stuff, we're hoping that we would become a staple name for that, because there's not a huge market in that. And the snowmobiles, unfortunately, have been declining with the crazy weather of not having snow.
Yeah.
My heating bill's been great, but we still can't have the fun on snow. So we're trying to give them another avenue to come to us and ride their sleds, ride their brand new stock sleds, come out with your open mods and everything in between, and give them a really good show, and maybe give the folks that come out to sponsor these events another avenue to show their goods too. So
yeah. So how many events do you put on throughout the year?
Just a total guess, man. So I do 5 motocross races, and currently I have scheduled one of every other thing. So we probably at 9 or 10 events a year, maybe upwards of 12, but I think it's like 9 or 10 motorsports events. We do some running races up there as well, but like on your feet.
Yeah.
But but yeah, it's enough to keep me busy, you know,
Yeah, it sounds
up
like it.
there. So
And it sounds like with, with the weather that you have up there, you have something for all year round. So it's not like, with drag and drive and in the Midwest, you've only got 6 to 8 months. You've
Right.
got it set up to where you've got something that you can do all year round, different type of events. I think that's really cool.
yeah, potentially, we do. And everything is weather dependent, even in the summertime. But in the wintertime, you know, if we get the ice, we have the ice races. And it's a trick. It's you got to have 12 inches of, well, for me anyway, I want 12 inches of ice so we can be safe on our pond with people out there. And then the grass drags are cool, but in the wintertime when we do the ice race and we're going to do snow drags at the same weekend. So we need the snow, you need the ice. But if we have that combination, man, we're gonna have an event. And so
That's awesome. Well, listen, we're running short on time. I want to say thank you for coming over here. I know you waited to come in.
Yeah, it's all
We
good.
thought you were going to be on your first. You guys at Ride Ranch on PowerTube TV. I'm sure you've got your own channel and all that kind of stuff on YouTube and Facebook.
yeah, as Facebook we're set up, you know, look at the Ranch of Carlisle, but we have production going, so you're gonna see the shows pretty shortly. So thanks for having us on.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks.
Appreciate it, guys. Nice meeting you.
Yeah, you too.
All right. I'm telling you, I don't ride motorcycles, but I think that's maybe something we need to go look at.
Oh yeah,
I think that would be
absolutely.
a blast.
Yeah.
So we have
definitely
Mike
sounds
Cook
like
coming on.
cool.
The one thing that's great about coming over hanging out is I get to meet a ton of new people. So hi, Mike.
How are you, man?
It's Mike and Mike in the morning here. I'm going to hand you this and let's talk about what you got going on.
So I'm known as kind of the evil midget. I've done acting. I build cars. My dad, professional daredevil.
Not professional daredevil. Now that
Yeah.
sounds fun.
Oh yeah, I've ridden through walls of fire. Done it off and on for 16 years.
Oh my.
I was actually sitting over there looking on my phone at a buddy of mine, Sugar Gum, when he crashed trying to jump 300 feet in Oklahoma one time.
Oh my God. 300 feet.
Yeah.
That's a long way for everybody that know. That's a distance. Well,
Big difference.
so let's talk about what people can watch of the crazy daredevil here doing on PowerTube.
Well, we're gonna have to get talking. I need to do some walls of fire on the PowerTube, and we'll get it set up. I'm also starting my own little thing where it's just the crazy stuff I get into, not necessarily building a car or doing a stunt. It's going around and just seeing all the randomness I do. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I wouldn't even a week ago. I had no plans of being here. I got a call from Will Posey and Dan Duffy, and which is another car builder friend of
Yep,
mine.
yep.
And then we built a car for Dan. I helped Will build a car for Dan. They go, "Hey, you want to go to PRI?" Yeah, you
Sure.
want to surprise Ray with you coming? 100%. So I put nothing on social media that I was going to be here. Told very little people. Flew into Nashville. They were running late, which worked out perfect for my stuff.
Yeah.
Randomness. What did I do? Uber to the bar on Broadway. 4 hours later and 6 beers, and I'm in the truck headed this way.
That's awesome.
So yesterday when we got here, surprised Ray. He was pumped. So
That's great.
I was also in Killers, The Flower Moon.
Yeah.
Just wrapped up filming a movie that will come out in March of 25 called Seven Dwarves.
Yeah. Sweet.
I'm the leader of the evil dwarves. Snow White kills us. It's a horror movie, real short film.
Right.
I was on America's Got Talent, Monster Garage,
It's awesome.
American Daredevils, some other shows. Like, I met him being on a TV show.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. He's our TV guy. He's like the most famous person I know.
oh man,
Now you are the most
we got to
famous
get
person
you out and about. Man.
That's exactly right. Well, let's talk about PRI. What have you enjoyed? What's probably top of mind that you've seen out there on the floor?
Just the innovative stuff that other racing avenues that I don't always follow. I'm kind of interested in it, but it's not always something I grew up following.
Yeah.
So like dirt track stuff. I didn't know there's so many ways you could build a transmission.
Oh man.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
But then I get to see cool stuff like the gassers, the,
Yep.
you know, pro mods and all that. I'm
Yep.
around that a lot. The whole street racing scene is pretty big in Oklahoma.
Oh yeah,
Obviously.
yeah. Where
Everybody
you
knows.
at? Where you at in Oklahoma?
Everybody knows my area code.
Oh, gotcha. Yep. So I work with Tulsa Raceway Park. I do a lot of their social media. So yeah, yeah. So we've
So
been
you
over that
probably
way. a
know a
lot.
buddy of mine then, Chad Lunsford.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay,
No
yeah.
Chad. Yep.
He's helping my dad, Steve Cook Creations, with our website and stuff. He does
That's
some of our
awesome.
videos.
That's
so,
awesome. Yeah. Great
yeah,
guy.
like
Okay.
yeah. Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
saw
I'm like,
that.
what?
You're really gonna be on the tree. No, but yeah, just all the different ways of racing that they have.
Yeah.
Some of the even the machine stuff. Like, I've been to other trade shows and I never really got to go look at like the CNC machines and stuff like that.
Yeah.
My mom's a machinist by trade. She worked
Nice.
at Tinker Air Force Base. And so I obviously never get to go there, but to go see that stuff done.
Yeah.
I've been around some of the restoration stuff to where I've seen people like casting parts. Well, then I see people out here with casting abilities.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, that's cool. Like,
Yeah. There's a lot of really neat parts and pieces and things that I've seen here that I never even would have thought about. Now we're drag racers, we're street
Right.
car guys,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But when you come out here, there's I don't know, there's a ton of booths for dirt track stuff.
there
And
is.
so I got to learn a little
Some
bit
of
about that.
stuff actually goes into show cars. Like a Camaro that we built has JRS shocks on it, which IndyCar sprint cars use because it'll lower and raise, but still have the actual shock ability.
Yeah.
We put that on a Camaro, so it's still got coilover suspension. But when you pull up, you can just lower it all the way down.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So being in Oklahoma, I mean, you're central part of the country. You get to do a lot of stuff everywhere. So where can people find you next year?
So I'll be in Pomona. Obviously, be at Gathering at the Rock. That's a big show for me. Usually go to Texas Good Guys because it's so close.
Yeah.
This year, I'm going to Speed Week. I've never been.
Yeah.
I went to the 50th anniversary of Evel Knievel Snake River Sky Cycle Jump. I'm endorsed by the Knievels to use the name Evel.
Nice.
One of the only people in the world to do that.
I guarantee it.
They're great people. So they had me come up for this 50th anniversary deal. And when I did that, it was in Twin Falls, Idaho. So I stopped by Bonneville. There wasn't anything going on, but that was enough.
But you were there. Yeah.
I rode my mini bike about half a mile out there and back, and I was hauling out. I'm like, man, wait, hold on. I don't have a jacket or anything on. I better go slow. I know this stuff hurts. So then as soon as we got back in the car, my best friend and I, kind of funny, a midget daredevil and an Elvis impersonator.
There
go to
you go.
Bonneville.
Yeah.
So
There's a story there somewhere.
oh yeah,
movie.
there's some stories. Let's just say we stopped by Bella's. I'll tell you about
There
that
you go.
later.
Yeah.
So we get back on the road on the highway. My buddy's like, this is where this. I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like, people have lived their whole lives to see what we just saw.
Yeah.
I'm coming back because I want to see cars go fast. here.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing on my list. Next year.
Awesome.
I'm sure I'll get into all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
a pretty random guy. You never know when I'm going to show
Well, I
up.
mean, 3 days ago you weren't coming to PRI. So-
Exactly.
That's awesome. Well, Mike, thank you so much. We're running short on time. I hate to cut it short,
Understand.
but
No,
thank
you're
you very
good.
much. Where can people follow you? Where do they just look for the what did you say?
It's Evil Midget, spelled EVEL,
Awesome.
which is on Instagram, or look up Evil Midget Approved. That's my hashtag. Started out as a joke, ended up being a thing. Or The Evil Midget on Facebook is my page name, or whatever you call it.
That's
So,
awesome.
and I'm about to start a little YouTube deal.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Evil Midget.
Do some vlogging and then show everybody what you get into.
What I get into, I have so much memorabilia that I could build a museum. So it's even going to turn into like story time with the
Yeah.
Evil Midget.
Oh man, hey, listen, I'm a podcast guy. I love that kind of stuff. Love where everybody can talk about all that. So
Yeah, well, hit me up sometime. I'll
yeah,
tell you some
definitely.
good
Hey,
stories.
you're not far from me. I certainly will. Thank you
Exactly.
very much. All right, sir. Enjoy it, man. Have a good show. How fun, man. Awesome. Yeah. I'll say we can talk to some folks for a minute about some of the things that are coming, but I think we've probably got to roll about 11:30 because we got to grab Tommy at Summit because we're going to be in the PRI podcast booth at 1. So yeah, that'd be great. So we got one more person coming over. Dude, the guests that have been on today, this is pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
Like, that's what PowerTube is. It's like everybody in this community.
Yeah, this has been great. Getting to talk to everybody.
Yep.
Different types of automotive racing. You know,
Yeah.
obviously we do drag and drive is our thing, but you know, we've talked to people that have done motorsports. You know, like dirt drags, grass drags. The guy last night we met was into dirt drag. So, I mean, with PRI, it doesn't matter what type of automotive racing you're into. There is literally something here for everybody.
Yeah.
And where we're sitting right now, we're getting a chance to meet people in all those different industries or
Yep. Well, and I think it's like the melting pot of PowerTube. You know, you start looking at some of the stuff in the background. I'm sure people are tired of looking at our face, but you got like off-road and outdoors, you got informative stuff, you got podcasts. You know, they have all of these different channels that they're building out, and it'll only get more and more. So, like as more motocross content creators come on, and they have enough to where they could put, you know, a week's worth of content together, you know, maybe we'll see a motocross channel, maybe we'll see that. So it's really providing a lot of that opportunity for smaller content creators and larger content creators, I'm sure. But us smaller folks, that's probably a really good deal for us because we get a ton of coverage, a ton of opportunity to be introduced to a lot of new people.
Yeah, it's been super cool. And we've said it before, you know, appreciative of the opportunity to be a part of PowerTube TV.
Yep. And like a show like Red, White, and Burnouts, like we all know, I mean, that's what drag racing was built on, was burnouts, right? So as you begin to kind of collect those fans for Red, White, and Burnouts, maybe, I mean, heck, let's be honest. If there's streetcar stuff on there, they're going to find us.
Oh yeah.
Because you know, there's nothing more street than a drag and drive event.
Right. And since we started doing this with PowerTube, you know, reruns of our show, exclusive content, you've also gotten opportunities to do the Southeast Gasser stuff. So that's one more avenue for you to talk about racing again. So
yeah, there's some people that are on here that recognize my voice, maybe not necessarily my face as much being this far away, but I am the host of the Southeast Gassers Association television show that comes out. We've got Ray and the team go to every race. The Insta360 cameras are out there, and I tell you, the launch with the Insta360 is probably one of the coolest shots in all of drag racing. You really get that with that, and those cars, like Greg said, you know, they got to do a 15-inch wheelie or that run doesn't count. So you're going to see wheelies, you're going to see that stuff. So Ray and the team go out there, get all that content for you. It takes weeks to edit those videos down to get ready to put on there. And so there's like a 8 or 11 episode series. I think there's 11 races next year. So of 11 episodes, 2025 that will come out and do all this.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. How are you? It's going good. All right. So Will Posey comes in here, gonna introduce yourself, tell us who you are, what all's going on, and how people can find you on PowerTube.
All right, so Will Posey here with Grip Autocross. We did some stuff real early on, and looking forward to get back rolling with PowerTube, and just go to gripautocross.com. We've got some links, and we're just an autocross company out of Gadsden, Alabama. We're nonprofit and try to raise a bunch of money to get young men and women into college in the automotive industry. So that's what our scholarship is for. So you got to be going in the automotive industry, and it's we just finished up year 3. It's our first year of having a point system, and our points guys, the winners of the points guys, some of them were 4 hours away. So we've already got a pretty good group that's traveling in to race with us, and we're really looking forward to 2025.
Yeah. Well, as somebody that's put point series together, tell us kind of how your first year went with that. How was it setting all that up? What did you learn from that?
It started off really smooth. Marshall Nelson was our IT guy, and he had everything just dialed in where it was super easy to take care of. And we tried to keep it simple. The first year, we've only got 3 classes: big tire, small tire, and truck. So, but
hold on, what's a big tire in autocross?
All right, so big tire is 250, 265 and larger, is big tire. 255 and smaller is small tire. And we've got some weight stuff in there too.
So
Width.
rim size into effect or just width?
Just width. We
Wow.
don't care what size wheel you run. It's all about tire size and weight. So you have to run a 200 tread wear tire. So if you've got 1500 horsepower on a, 315, 35, 18, say Yokohama AO52, ain't gonna do you much good. And that's one of the best autocross tires out there right now. So, you can have as much power as you want. If you can't put it down, it's not doing you any good. So we kept it, like I said, so simple. So big tire, small tire, small tires 1800 pounds and up, big tires 20 27 or 2800 pounds and up. And then truck is I think it's a 2800 pound and no tire. Right. You can put a 315 on an S10. So a small tire truck class just didn't really make a lot of sense.
So how many events make up the series for the points?
We do 9.
9 events.
So we have in February we have what we call our School of Grip. So it's for novices or even if you're experienced autocrossers. We only accept 35 students, and we'll have 12 to 15 instructors.
Oh wow.
So it's a real personal thing, and it's guys that's been autocrossing for at least 20 years, and a lot of guys have some road course experience too. So, if you're a novice and you're looking to get into autocross, the School of Grip is unbelievable seat time. You'll get 30 to 40 passes either with an instructor or without an instructor. And then in the morning we have class, and then in the afternoons we go to the track. The track's only 5 minutes from my shop, so we have class in my shop where we actually have some suspension stuff set up that we don't really go much into suspension. It's more about the driving and how to take a corner, but we loosely touch on suspension and tire pressure and stuff like that.
So all 9 events, are they all at the same track? You go to different tracks?
They're all at the same place. We change the track every month, so it's different every month. Sometimes it'll, favor a small tire Miata, and sometimes it's going to favor a big tire 700 horsepower second gen Camaro or something like that.
So what track is it at?
It's we call it the Sandlot.
Okay.
It's it used to be a manufacturing facility in Gadsden, Alabama, and the building's gone. So the concrete pad is our grid.
Okay.
And then fortunately for us, this year, in March, April, we had the whole lot resurfaced. So it's got the same, whatever they call it, the same compound of mixture of asphalt that Talladega Super Speedway has.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so we're real close to Talladega. So the company that supplied the asphalt for Talladega worked with an engineer with the state of Alabama and Auburn University and a lot of other places to create an asphalt for better grip. So we was able to utilize all that technology for our lot that we have. And it's 400 feet by like 1,000 feet. So
Okay.
it's pretty good spot. We get up to 70, 80 miles an hour out there.
Yeah, that's pretty quick.
It's real fast when you're heading straight towards a fence and you got to stop and turn.
Yeah. What vehicle won your points championship, and what's kind of the setup on that?
So a fairly new, I think it was a 2019 Miata won the small tire, and a 2022 Supra won the big tire.
Wow.
Big tire was really, really close between the Supra and a second gen Camaro.
Okay.
So Ryan Tollison won big tire, and Josh Smathers won small tire.
Okay. And what about you? Do you have a vehicle that you participate as well, or?
I have a C4 Corvette that's lightened up a little bit and got a little more power, and nothing real crazy. Just something I go out there and have fun with. I didn't start autocrossing until we started grip, so
Oh, okay.
I'm not the most experienced guy out there, but I wound up finishing 4th in points. and the highest finish I had was third over the season.
So if you had no background, what made you want to get into doing this then?
So I have a hot rod shop called Big Oak Garage, and we've built a couple of autocross cars, and I actually have a drag race background, so I have raced some, and I don't know. Yeah, totally different. I was a way better drag racer than I was an autocrosser. And anyway, a buddy of mine, we were sitting behind our cars at a car show, and it was like, this just sucks. I mean, it's the same stuff over and over and over, and you're just sitting there, behind your car and talking to the same people, and it's like, man, we need to use our cars.
Yes.
Because he's got a FRC C5 Corvette, and I was sitting behind the Rocket Camaro. It's one of the autocross cars we built, and it's like, man, let's do a car show with an autocross, kind of like Good Guys,
Yeah.
So we went down that path, and we figured out pretty quick that it was going to be way more work than we really wanted to put in for a car show and an autocross. It's like, let's just start an autocross.
Yeah.
And so we looked into it, and our biggest concern was how much insurance was going to be.
Oh yeah.
So once we got hooked up with K&K Insurance and found out how much it was going to be, and it's like, dude, we can totally swing this.
Yeah.
So we got insurance. We came up with a name, Grip, and Guys Racing in Parking Lots. That's
Yeah.
where it come from.
Whoa, hang on. I just put that together.
Yeah.
That just blew your mind, didn't it?
That's pretty smart.
Yep. And we're in Gadsden too. So Gadsden Racing in Parking Lot, guys, gals, whatever.
Yeah.
So it could be a lot of different things. So anyway, that's kind of how it all got started, and we found a lot. The guy I went to high school with, his family owned this big lot, and we
They're on the chat.
we started it. Now here we are. Season 3 is done.
That's cool.
Awesome. So
I know.
yeah, when can people watch this thing?
Well, right now it's just some older stuff that's on PowerTube. Hopefully this year we'll be able to show everybody our new facility and bring everybody up to date and up to speed of what's going on.
Very cool. I know Mike's probably gonna know where I'm going with this, but if you like autocross and you like drag racing and you like driving your car, sounds like you need to check out Summit Autocross Week, because that is definitely a blend of what we do with the drag and drive, with the autocross. Sounds like could be something that'd be right up your alley.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Appreciate y'all guys having me.
Yeah, certainly. Tell everybody where they can find you guys real quick on
So-
Facebook and
So
PowerTube and all that.
my hot rod shop's Big Oak Garage. We have Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. So just bigoakgarage.com, Facebook's Big Oak Garage, and then gripautocross.com. We've got a really nice website, and then we're really active on Facebook, not really active on much other social medias right now. But we just got a social media guy. So Grip Autocross should be pretty relevant on social media. And then you can always go to PowerTube YouTube channel and check us out there too.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you
Appreciate it,
guys.
sir.
Appreciate it.
All right. So for our last guest here, we're going to bring in Mr. Winston from Insta360. From Insta360. I want to talk about this thing because as I look at especially this one here, this camera makes a lot of sense. So we do a lot of stuff with Pro Mods. We do a lot of stuff with drag and drive. These cameras, you're driving around. We're driving around. I'm thinking, man, I'm watching some of the TV in the background. There's drifting going on and stuff. The shots that these get really are over the top. Like you can't get this really anywhere else. So tell us kind of how this came about and what you do with the company and all that.
Right, hello guys. I'm Winston. I'm the head of sales for North American Sports, and very nice to be here and very nice to meet you guys. So basically we're Insta360, and we firstly famous of the making the 360 degrees action cameras, which is this guy here, the Insta360 X4, which is also the first 8K 360 action cameras. So I would like just to explain the 360 footage a little bit.
Yeah.
So when we're doing the phone, so we do a panoramic footage. You do the scan like do like this. Yeah, that is panoramic, but it's not 360 because it doesn't have the sky and doesn't have the floor. But with the 360, with this camera, it gives you a 360 look, like a sphere. So that brings advantage of you can film everything that what happens, and you wouldn't lose any seconds, right? Because like in the sports, like when you drift or when you drive or when you take off, that every single moment, so those specific moments, when you miss it, then it's gone. It's really hard or it's impossible to copy. So that's why that we need to have some camera to record it. Yeah, but with a traditional camera, um, if you don't get it, then you don't get it, right? You have the direct angle like that. The advantage of 360 is that you get everything. It's really hard for you to mess up footage. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. And with the 360, we can wipe off the selfie stick like that. So when you're holding it or attach it to your vehicle, so that gives a perfect third person view. You see? Yeah. And I would like to just to give a extra of the introduction of the other guy here.
Yep, please.
Yes, so the one on the left, the black one. So this looks like a little bit like GoPro, but I would like to say it can do a little bit more than a GoPro. So firstly, you probably don't see clear, but we have a flip screen building here, so that makes a lot of possibility for you to check in different position. So if you have in low position, you don't have to bring yourself so low like that. And in terms of the video quality, it can shoot up to 8K. Yeah. 8K. So to be honest, I have made some comment to my product manager. I asked him how many people can process the 8K video.
Right.
But they said, wow, this is the technology goes. We can do 8K now. Then yeah, why not offer it to the consumer?
Well, and eventually 8K will be, 4K is available on TVs, 8K will be available on all that stuff, and we'll have more possibility to watch that way.
That's right. That's right. And the more clear the pixel is, the video quality is, that gives you more capability to edit. So you can zoom in, you can do some background work of the video that gives you more capability to do some work on that.
Right.
Yeah. On the other hand, we have got 2 AI chips inside. So I know AI is getting a kind of very popular concept, but what can this AI do is, so firstly, we have the let me turn this on. Yeah, we have the gesture control here. So if I do this, it starts taking a picture for us. Yes, check that. Yeah,
That's
everything we're
cool.
on. And if I put my hands up like that, it start recording video. Yeah.
So yeah, you can do that from. You don't have to, do
Yeah,
do
you have-
everything everybody sees. Yep.
Yeah. So it's very easy. We build it. We make it very easy for everyone to use. Oh, it's not recognizing me. Okay, let me do that again.
Well, I like the flip screen on that. Obviously, I think you guys are probably most well known for this thing. This and roll racing has changed the game on YouTube for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so. Let me just turn that off. Come on. Okay, I had enough of this. But yeah, anyway, like this is very easy to use, and
And then where can they find these?
right. So we actually own the Christmas sales right now. So you can go on insta360.com, go to the official website, and we are also in all kind of different channels like Best Buy, like Amazon. You can find us very easily. And also, just want to give a quick interview of this little guy here. So would you please hold the microphone for me?
Yep.
This is actually one of the smallest action camera in the world. I call it smallest is because we can take it out like this. So that is actually how small it is, like your phone size. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
It's only 35 gram.
this is really interesting.
Is it magnetic on the
This
back?
makes sense. So
Yeah, it is magnetic.
like think about
Yeah, actually I have one on me. So I have a magnet pendant under my coat. And if I do that, yeah,
Oh,
that's it.
cool.
Yeah. And it's very easy to operate. I just need to press it and start recording. Yeah, you probably not see very clear, but you can see it's flashing red here.
Right. Yep.
So it start recording. If I want to stop, just press it again. That's it. easy. And with this little brother here, you can shoot up to 4K.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I also mountain bike.
Uh-huh.
Walk me through stabilization because this would be way better than a front mount gimbal or some big chesty mount. Does this have stabilization in it?
Oh yes, the stabilization of all our cameras is very good because obviously oh yeah, thanks. Obviously we are the action camera and we know the how what kind of vibration that we have during the all the sports. So there's a story I want to tell is like Insta360 actually launched a satellite into space. Then we put one of our camera on that and we launched the satellites and we want to give our Earth, our planet, a 360 shot. Yeah, and we complete that. We did that, and the story is before we launch the the space management department, they just want to check if our stabilization will fit with the vibration when you launch the rocket. Yeah, so basically we passed that, and we kind of realized when we're doing action sports, the stabilization is even worse than you launching the rocket into the space. Yeah, right. So basically um since we have the stabilization and the vibration and anti vibration stuff built in with the camera, so it's pretty good.
This is really interesting. This makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's for drag and drive stuff. I mean, you can literally put that just about anywhere. You can put it on a cage it can clip onto. I mean, we already see a lot of these in drag and drive. I think Bob Grubber, I think he has one on the back of his Mustang. Like these are pretty common, but I'm curious to see if something like that will make an appearance because of the versatility, the size. Um, what's the cost of each one of these?
All right, so the retail price of the X4 is 500.
This one?
Yeah. No, this one, the
Okay.
361.
Yep.
And for this guy is 425 with 128 built-in memory.
Okay.
And for the Ace Pro, it starts from 400, but I think now it dropped to 300 or 330. 330. Yeah, something like that now.
Very cool.
That's awesome. I tell you, this stuff is really neat. You know, I do a lot of work with Midwest Drag Race Series. This small of a camera, the guys wouldn't be mad at me if I'm putting in their pro mods. Yeah, they're trying to find every gram and every bit of weight they can cut. I go to them with a big camera like that or some other action cameras, and they're like, but I come to them with this. I'm probably going to end up with a yes. And so I would like to talk to you after this about some of the stuff with Midwest and everything like that. So let's do that, guys. We're really close to we've got to be over at the podcast thing here shortly. So I want to say thanks to Ray for letting us come in here and spend some time in PowerTube TV booth. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you coming over. Winston has been super busy. Like since we've been here, you haven't stopped talking to folks. This is maybe one of the probably the busiest places in the PRI show. We've only got a couple hours left here. If you haven't made it to booth 7086, you got to get over here and see it. See the Joker car from Southeast Gassers. See the new giveaway Mustang over there in the side in the car capsule and all the stuff that comes along. Find Ray, the best looking guy here. Bald, glasses, gorgeous. You'll know who I'm talking about when you get over here. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. It's Mike and Eric at Drag Drive Repeat. All right, let's hit it. Yeah, that's really cool.